I guess that then comes once you've got an understanding of where your team is at, and say you've got, I'm a Spurs fan, so Tottenham have had one A player for 10 years, and the rest are probably Bs, roughly Bs. Now that A player is gone, and I think in order to unearth another A player, like, they're gonna need training, right? And I think, and support. I think one of my failings when I had my business was not providing enough of a training and support sort of infrastructure to enable potential A players who are currently B minus, Bs, but with the right motivation and support and enthusiasm, like, they could turn into A players. I think that was one of my biggest failings, not really putting in the right sort of infrastructure to allow A players to be unearthed. Is there, like, do you have any recommendations or suggestions or approaches as to how to deal with that, or kind of implement a support system? And also, I guess the original question that I was going to ask was, if you are looking to just employ a bunch of A players, that requires a bit of a change in culture as well, right? And I think that then leads into, like, you as the leader of the company being able to take the responsibility to change that culture and drive that change, which is a separate thing. But if we deal with, like, the training and the infrastructure first, and then perhaps we can cover off the culture and the leadership aspect.
Actually, can we do it the other way around?
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
You've asked such a good question, so I have to tackle that.
Sure.
Because actually, it's easier to raise the culture. Most people think if I get kind of the non-performers moving up, that'll improve things the most. Actually, the counterintuitive thing, this is an advanced basic, is you talk to your best people and get them hyper performing.
Okay.
And the point is, all A players, even if they're not at an A player now, unearthing A players is easy because they want to be A players. Someone who isn't an A player on your score sheet will be gutted, and they want to know how to get there. They want that conversation with you. So I would start with the people you think have the greatest potential to really perform. If they're already an A, get them to be an A plus. Start with your best people and get them hyper performing, because it starts to create a clear water, a clear gap between what you're looking for and what's not acceptable.
Right.
And this is the beauty of what I call the CDR process. It should be a motivating conversation. It's a human to human, I care about you conversation, but do you care about you? And is this the place for you? Because I've got a dream for this business and I've got a dream for your place in this business. Are you up for it as an A player? And if so, let's discuss your scores. This is what I've scored you. What do you think? You'll typically find your A players will underscore themselves.
Okay.
Your C minuses and below will overscore themselves. But in the end, it's just a discussion. What really matters is you're going, because no one's going to be 10 out of 10. It's to get you to a 10, even if you're an average 9, what do we need to get you to a 10? If you're an average 5, what do we need to get you to a 7? What are the 3 things? And having a two-way conversation around, is it about technical competence? Is it drive and attitude? Is it people skills? Having that conversation, what your perception is or what training they think they need, it's a two-way conversation to go, okay, so in the next 3 months, we're going to get some skills training for you. We'll do it ourselves, or we'll send you out somewhere to learn to use a piece of equipment that would be hugely valuable to us. Or here's around attitude. Well, it's quite simple. You turn up with a sulky face. It'd make a world of difference if you turned up looking happy every day. Let's see if the next 2 weeks you can turn up with a smile on your face. And the third thing is just around customers. We've had some feedback. The work you do is amazing, but you just look a bit surly because you turn up with the grumpy face. Could you just every time with a smile, you just greet the customer, say, hello, this is what I'm going to be doing today. Was there anything different you wanted? Whatever that relationship is, or whoever or the team member they're not getting on with, just to get, this is what we think you need to do differently to get on better with that team. So it's keeping it quite simple. It's not rocket science. It's about human to human.
That's very true.